everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a story that sounds like something straight out of a movie, but it actually happened. Get ready for a tale of ambition, unexpected consequences, and some truly jaw-dropping results. We're talking about the time China decided to release 1 million rabbits into the desert. Seriously, what happened next? Well, let's just say it shocked the world, and you won't believe how this experiment unfolded. So imagine this. It's the late 1950s, and China is facing a massive environmental challenge. Huge areas of their desert regions were expanding, encroaching on farmland, and threatening livelihoods. The Gobi Desert, in particular, was a formidable adversary. Traditional methods of combating desertification were proving slow and expensive. That's when some brilliant minds came up with a rather unique idea. What if, they thought, we used nature itself to fight nature? And that's how the idea of the rabbit army was born. The plan was ambitious, to say the least. The concept was simple yet audacious. Release millions of rabbits into the arid lands. The hope was that these prolific burrows would dig tunnels, aerating the soil, and their droppings would fertilize it, creating a more hospitable environment for vegetation to grow. The vision was a green transformation, turning barren landscapes into fertile grounds, all thanks to a furry hopping workforce. It sounded like a stroke of genius, a low-cost, high-impact solution to a monumental problem. The sheer scale of it was mind-boggling, not just a few thousand, but 1 million rabbits. Think about the logistics, the planning, the sheer optimism behind such a grand undertaking. And so, the Great Rabbit Release began. Millions of these small, fluffy creatures were introduced to the vast, sandy expanses of the Chinese desert. Initial reports were cautiously optimistic. There were indeed signs of them digging and moving soil. But here's where the story takes a fascinating and completely unexpected turn. The desert, as it turns out, has its own rules, and nature often has a way of surprising us when we try to impose our will upon it. What happened next was not the green revolution they envisioned. Instead, the rabbits, being rabbits, did what they do best. They multiplied, and multiplied, and multiplied some more. But without enough natural predators to keep their numbers in check, and in an environment where they were the new, dominant species, their population exploded. This wasn't just a slight increase, it was an uncontrolled boom. Instead of aerating the soil and fertilizing new growth, the sheer volume of rabbits began to devour every single scrap of vegetation they could find. Remember, this was already a fragile ecosystem with sparse plant life. Within a surprisingly short amount of time, the desert became even more barren than before. The rabbits weren't helping. They were accelerating the desertification process, eating newly planted saplings, stripping the land bare, and ultimately making the problem far, far worse. It was an ecological disaster unfolding right before their eyes. The rabbit army had become an invading force, turning against its mission. The unintended consequences were severe. Local farmers, already struggling with desert expansion, faced an even greater threat as their remaining crops were decimated by the hungry hordes. The land became almost moon-like in its desolation. The experiment, once hailed as innovative, was now seen as a cautionary tale of ecological interference. The situation became so dire that the authorities had to intervene. The initial problem of desertification was now compounded by an uncontrollable rabbit plague. It was a stark reminder that even with the best intentions, altering complex ecosystems can have unpredictable and devastating results. The solution? Well, it wasn't easy, and it definitely wasn't quick. It involved a massive effort to control the rabbit population, reintroducing natural predators, and implementing more sustainable, long-term strategies for combating desertification. It was a hard lesson learned about ecological balance and the delicate interplay of species within an environment. So, while the idea of a rabbit army sounded ingenious on paper, the reality was a shocking lesson in unintended consequences. It serves as a powerful reminder of how important it is to understand the intricate workings of nature before making large-scale interventions. It's a truly fascinating chapter in environmental history, isn't it? What do you guys think about this incredible story? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this video as wild as we did, please hit that like button, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing historical and scientific deep dives. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.